All right, so welcome back, I guess. Let's get you focused first. So this has been a long time coming for me because I did this video probably about 3 weeks ago, and I've just been lazy about doing a thumbnail, and I was trying to figure out how to do the thumbnail. So this is the end of the video where I did the car, and I wanted to do a thumbnail of the car in detail and just have it up so you can see what, the final product. So I thought that it would be kind of neat to show you guys the process of fleshing this vehicle out so that you can do your own. So this is what I had in the video. I actually threw the paper away, the original paper. I couldn't find it, so I just kind of looked at the video and looked at what I had, and this is basically kind of design. I mean, would never make a car like this, but I'm going to flesh this thing out to see if I can make a nice vehicle for the thumbnail. Now, I don't know if you'll be seeing this video or if you just see the thumbnail at the beginning of the vehicle video, but we're going to go from here. I sharpened my pencil, but the point broke. So let me sharpen this other one. Right back in a second. Always have a point. So, okay, and if I can remember the video, I just know I wanted this thing to have 6 wheels, and it was going to be a car that flies. So first thing you do when you design your vehicle, you have to figure out how you want that vehicle to be seen. If you're doing like one pinup of your vehicle, what angle do you want that vehicle to be seen? And I decided to go with kind of a overhead perspective shot. So, I mean, you could choose any type of perspective shot. You could do like a 1 point, and basically your vehicles are square, 1 point perspective like that, and here's your roof of your car. You can do the 2 point where, let's go like this. The 2 point, here's your wheels, here's your windshield. It's convertible, of course, because I don't feel like drawing the rest. Or you could, what is that? The left side of the car. You can switch it over, show the right side of the car. You can do a low shot where you kind of above it, which would be a what is that? That's still a 2 point, but it's a lower angle where you see, the tires, and you won't see much of the roof. But you'd have to have, one heck of a grill for something like this if you want to do a low shot and not show it. So what you really want in doing something like this is to show the best angle that you possibly can with your vehicle. So let me put this, because this thing is blurring, let me put this yellow piece of paper under here. Okay, so I'm going to use more of a top kind of angle, like so. I should do a piece of paper, but a pencil, one piece of paper. I should do a pencil, but we'll see. So your basic shape is going to be that square. Are you focusing on me, or are you just really screwing up today? One day I'm going to get a real studio with some good lighting and just, kick out these beautiful videos. And as I say, I don't even know if this is going to go get up online. You may just see just the finished product. So that would be a moot point for what I just said if you're just going to see the finished product. So, okay, 6 wheels in the back. Now I may have to lengthen this or make this a little more narrow to accommodate those 6 wheels. 6 wheels because the engine goes back there, so you need a little more room. And then the wheel well. I mean, it could be square, it could be, and any angle. It's your vehicle. It's my vehicle. Just for the time being, but that is kind of long, so I want to slim it out. It's not long, it's wide for these size tires. So it's going to be something. I just forgot what I was going to say. The size is going to determine, the tires are going to determine the size of the car. Get those tires right, get those ovals right. So I can spend all day trying to mess with these ovals, but I'm not. So actually, I'm going to slim it down. I can make it a little wider, but for the time being. All right, so I'm going to put the cabin right about here to here. And I'm not trying to make this an hour video, hopefully. So I'm going to bring it closer to the edge. So everything is square, first of all, square and rectangle until you start to get your shape, till you shape it up. And I said this one's going to come down. So finding my center. Say it again, Brian. Finding my center. It's going to be right there. So it's going to come up here, go across here, and go down. So that's going to be my center of the back window. Hopefully, if that's right. Of course, it's going to be curved. What is that? Would that you'd see more of this side than the other side. You got to curve it. That would be right there. This I made it sharp. So for airflow. I'll give this a point as well. And I think back here I gave this a point. And hit the like button for me. Yeah, do me that favor. Hit the like button because the YouTube algorithms look at that stuff. Because I've had a number of people saying, how come your views are so small? You know, you got good content. That's because people don't hit the like button so that the YouTube computer can say, hey, people like this. Let me put this up on the front, you know, in the front of the, you know, front of the line and videos so that more people can see it. So if you, I think I did one not too long ago, and it had maybe 117 views so far, and I have one like, you know, out of that. I'm not even gonna say that's mine because I need to start liking my own videos. But yeah, you just, yeah, hit that like button. What else you got to do? All right, so the front of this is gonna slope down. It's gonna slope down. And it comes to a point here. And this is a quick rough. As I said, this is a quick rough. The body's going to come in here and go out here. Wide body. Wide body, but the motor is going to take up that space. Straight down, straight down. And let me put this over here so you guys can see what I'm doing. And it's the same with doing faces and other things. You draw your basic, and then you chop off, you know, what you want, your nose, your hair. You have to do that from different angles because someone sent me a drawing of his character, one of his characters, and I told him you have to do that. You have to, you know, you got your front face right. Now you have to do your 3/4 view and your side profile. And then once you get those right, you have to start putting expressions on your character. So, okay, so this is the center line, which has got to go right to the center of that window. Now that's my center line right there. That's why that thing was going crazy. So I had it free-handed. I had it right, freehanding it. Give me a little eraser. You know, now I would put more slope to this window and then maybe not have the hood so high if I was, you know, trying to be like that. So this is going to come all the way around. You wouldn't see that line in the glass. The glass would just be curved like that. So this is going to be flat, and then it's going to come up And I had my hood, I had this down inside more in like that. So I'm gonna bring that in. You wouldn't see that side, you'd see this side. Down, okay, so I'm gonna bring this out and in, out, flare out and in. Again, flare out, flare out. Now, how would that look from this part? Flare out, in, out. Because when you're looking at a car from this angle, that would look different. Wheel wells. Start with the square. Start with the square. So you can get your lines going up the same way. Now, one thing I wanted was to, they're going to be these in the hood, in the trunk. These shapes in the trunk. Now, if I had this done right, then I could do like 2 and 3 angles of this car, you know, using those different angles to show you everything about the car. But since this is a quick rough out of my head, it won't be like that. So when the motors go down in this car, they kind of stick up because they don't all go all the way down in the trunk. Let's bring this in, out, in, and out, because this wants that little shape. So this is, it has that shape to it, like those double hump, double engine shapes to it. Now, am I going to open it up to show the engines? I don't know. I don't know. The engine's coming out. I don't know yet. Let's just get through fixing the car. Let's work with the front. So the front has those 2 hood scoops. Where's my drawing? See, my camera's doing good now. It just doesn't like in the beginning. I don't know why. When you, maybe I just need to let it warm up in the beginning just to get it warm. And because this is perspective, I would need my perspective lines connecting to keep my lines straight. I don't know, you can see those lines, make it a little darker. So, but since I'm doing this freehand, because I'm just feeling my way through this, this is what you would have to do when you start seriously doing vehicles. So, do your squares first. Then you add your shape to it. So split right here and split right here. And since the window's curved, I'm going to curve these around. Why not? So that would come kind of flat. So it's going to curve down. And then split those 2. Split those 2. I'm going to round them off. And then put that rounded off shape there. Then I had that center line going down the center, which means I'd have to move that one over some, which is no big thing. Hood scoop. I don't really care for this window being so wide. If this is a fast car, and it's going to be able to fly I want more of an aggressive looking, I don't want to keep calling this a hood, more of aggressive looking windshield. Yeah, it gives it that evil kind of presence. And once I ink this, I'll be able to cut some of the lines out. Just getting a body. I'm not worried about lights and anything like that yet. You know, I'd have to reach into the brain and maybe pull from some kind of other car lights that I might want. So I'm gonna have this little space over here because the spoiler is gonna be there. So that's gonna be flat, and then bring it in and out like that. So this part is gonna be here, here, curve in, and then here. Flat here, out, like that, bulging out, and then you have your, I don't want to call them nacelles. You're so Star Trek-y. Whatever, these grinders. Yeah, turbines. It's not what I was going to say. Was it turbines? Whatever, engines. All right, so that's not too shabby. Let's bring this even down, slope this down as well. Slope this down. Because you want that wind to come over the hood. And then they go right into the back window. Pencil time. Too many lines. This is why I use 2 and 3 different colors. Center for the window, and you'll see just a piece of that window here, and it's got to come down right here to connect this window, which connects to this. All right, so which leaves me some space right here to play with. So this is flat, so it comes straight out here, curves down, which is going to leave the little point, which is going to a bend right here, go up, and that's going to be the side. As I said, which leaves me some room to play with right here. And let's just do my door. It's going to curve down and out. So the door is going to be right behind that front wheel well. I can have maybe like a scoop, an air kind of ram scoop, not air ram scoop. I'm going to stop naming these things. I look at the car videos, but I never really paid attention to the names. But then the air will flow through there, and I can have something here, maybe a couple more vents where the air can like come back out of, because this engine has got to be cool, so you're not going to have some exhaust dumped out somewhere else other than the back. Some stylish lights, you know, because it's going to be, it's going to be grille, and it's got a front splitter. So where's my pencil? Let me define this front hood. And this comes down and around. So my front scoop is going to be, front splitter is going to be, how did I have it? Just straight out. That. Like that. Now see, when you start doing lights, this is where you have to kind of take from something that's already there. This window, it could be done. It could be done. So here, I want to have like an oval, some oval vents. As I say, air has to come out somewhere, and I could have more curves, you know, around it. Somehow, somewhere, just adding more. This is going to come up. It's going to have that split line, and of course, it opens from the sides. I said it's going to open like this somehow. Okay, what did you just do? How long were you unblurred? How long were you blurred? I was speaking nice about you too. Don't do me like that. So it has to open up somewhere across the glass, or it could open up at an angle across the glass, which would give me some nice shaped lines. So let's get rid of this because this is open. So we have this wide body right there, wide body bulge, and it goes narrow here and it comes out here, so I can actually bring that out more aggressively. I don't want too many lines in it. It would have to come out like this for that wheel well, and then come out and then maybe go in. I've only just really designed a car. I'm not gonna say that once in my life. If I can find my old book, I designed a bunch of cars for a race. I had stories when I was young and I was just learning how to draw. I wasn't that good of drawer, so I would write. I would write daily. I had my own little superhero team, and every day they would go on another mission because I was just writing, because I didn't know how to really draw. And I had them guys go back in time and other worlds and save the world so many times. And one of the things were they had it was a race. It was a car race on another planet. So they designed their own car for that race. And I designed a car for it. Because in school, my teacher realized how good an artist I was at that time, the potential, and he gave me, it was like kind of like the blueprints that you lay out for a car, and it was kind of like you had the driver's seat, you had the picture of the driver. It was kind of like a schematic kind of thing, and it had the layouts. This had to be so high, this had to be so high, this had to be so long, this had to be so long. It was kind of like when you do your ABCs of the car, and then it had to have a wheel well here and a wheel well there. So I kept that thing for the longest time, and I ended up just playing around with it, like, okay, I want my windshield right here, and it's going to be this, and my wheel has got to be, and it was basically the industry's standard of how long a car had to be, minimum, and how high and blah blah, and how much off the ground clearance it had to have. So I used that for a while, and I just kept it for a while. And when I did my car, I designed it, but my car was, nothing like the industry's design. And for the life of me, I cannot find that book. And it's got all my drawings from junior high, when I was learning how to draw, when I was putting my stories together, and my characters. That's not too shabby, but I need to do something with the roof. I don't know, should I bring it back and get more glass? That would be a lot of glass. Not necessarily. I need another eraser. No. Just go with it. For the sake of time. If I wanted to make something out of it, I would later in life. So I want to have my, what do you call those things? Pillars, just a small pillar to fit the glass in. Are we still unblurred? Good. It's got to have a mirror, not really. Because some supercars have the mirrors, cameras, and the cameras have the screens on the inside. It's not too bad, so I'm going to curve this in a little bit more. And bring this out. And that could be part of the wing. And I'm going to put another one here. I don't know what they call these things, but it's like a breaks the air. You won't see it on that side. Let's see what I can do with some lights. Now, I'm going to reference some cars just to see how their lights are made and see if I can get a good idea. Of how I want to put some lights. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe I'll just keep going and just fake it. So I know it did have a spoiler, so let's just put the spoiler on there for now. Spoiler should probably be connected right there, because that helps with the flying stabilization. And as I say, when you start to draw seriously, you need to be able to start looking at stuff more serious, as in the way it's made, the detail of it. So that when you start drawing, that's a tight looking car. I mean, I could shape the front up a little bit more, but I kind of like that. So that when you start drawing, you will not have to go and reference stuff. Like I said, I was going to reference my lights. So this is a grill. How is this going to be? Is it going to come back? This is where the brain starts to think. All right, so it does run on the street. So it's got to have your turning signals. And that was another thing about this. It showed you where your turning signals have to be and your brake lights and so forth. All right. Come on now. Running out of time. How many? 30 minutes. That's just too much for this. It's too much for this. So I'm going to put that center line here and maybe some more scoops up in here. I know that, who is it that has that little center scoop? I think the McLaren has that little center scoop to pull in the air for the turbos. So I'm going to put one here. For the same purpose, since this is a flying car. Time to break out a new red pencil. Not quite exactly centered, but that's okay. It's all right. What was I working on? The front lights. So this is recessed. So the grill has to go in and up, which leaves, there's got to be something right here. I don't know. And I guess the lights could be pop-up lights then. Something right here. I threw this there without even thinking. So I'll just end that right there. Then I can go ahead and throw this other one, this other little wing up here, so it's double. I could put some lights on the side. Let's get some kind of vicious looking lights on the side. And another one that goes back a little further. And then still have my pop-up lights, which you really wouldn't see. The lights, if you're flying during the nighttime, I could do something with the door, have a little shape to the door. I could, but for the sake of time, I'll just, yeah. Yeah, I'll just leave that like that. And that shape right here could be like the theme of the car and placed somewhere else, like on the hood. You know, just to you know, add more to the car itself. But yeah, and just for these could be flaps, of course. These would go up and down. These would lift up and down. These little. The word canard just came in my head. I don't know if that's the right word for these little things, but you can have this going across here. These little flaps. It could look like design, but actually they are flaps for, you know, up and down. And I could put like a crap load of just little, like, you know, bolts and, you know, stuff to make it look just more dramatic, daring. I'll put more of a point here. Or more of this. If the air is coming up here, I want to kind of deflect that air off of that windshield. I thought my camera cut off for a second. 35 minutes done. I guess this is going to turn out to be a true video. So that center line is going to come right down here and then go right down there. And wheels, you know, that's going to be the hard part because I was never good at freehand circles. But I'm going to try my best. I guess probably this is why I don't do cars. Okay, I got a message. So bring this in a little bit more. Let's erase some of this garbage. Not the actual car. This one's going to be closer in. A little small. Let me give it a shot with a pencil. Yes, I do have tools for that. Let me see if one will fit. All right, here we go. Now, these things are good to have, but you don't want to be dependent on these things because it might not be what you need. Like, these are too ovalish for me. These are not overly enough. So it's not something that I could use, really. So, yeah, I'll just kind of freehand it. So, I mean, don't go buy your triangles, and your circles. But for these things like this, you may never use it. So I'm just going to do a fake circle for the time of being. And now there's another way you can do the X. I'm forgetting. That's not an X, that's a plus symbol. And that will help you. And then you can do the X. And that will help you even more. maybe. Maybe, if the oval's right. If it's right, it looks fairly good in the thing over there, monitor. This little front tire, poor thing. So we have this, and I'm sure they have like a little trim and stuff around there, and I can kind of fake that when I ink it. So yeah, I know my tires are not the greatest. That's not too shabby a car if I had a little bigger tires on the front. Just for the sake of my arguing with myself, I will try to make this a little bigger. Let's see how it goes. But it needs to be a square like this. It needs to go up. You need to do the square like that first. Put that block in there, which is coming back to me now. And then you kind of round it off. You just, your edges. Yeah, just, as I say, I haven't done a car in so long. And then you go across the same direction, and then you can curve that. Same direction here, and you curve that. And then you basically have a good enough tire, which, I didn't do. In, and you can do the same thing with the inside. That's where you come up with this, for the square, but I'm gonna fake it because you see more in the front than you will see the back. It's a lot to doing perfect circles. It's a lot to doing perfect circles. I guess you could probably do another square, find your center of the X, and then do your square again in that center of that X, and then round that off inside the square. And you can do it again, and you have, your tire rim thingamajiggy. My daughter's favorite word. Just for the sake of this argument. Where's my blue? This tire, it's just gonna just mess me up, this whole tire thing. So anyway, let's just keep going. That is not sitting on that flat line. This is why you need this square, so you can have everything sitting and going in that same direction. Which I see in the monitor, these need to go up some more. These are going in their own direction. This has got to go that way, like this. This one's got to go like this. And this is why you need your guidelines, because this one has to come out. So the center line would come out like this. This line will come out like this. And this line will come out like this to hit that tire. To get those tires right. All right, so let's just hand wing it and then just go from there. If you think I'm gonna give like some nice spoke rims, you're wrong, because that would take me another hour. So I'm just gonna wing it. It would be cool if I put like a phone thing up in here just to give it that extra aerodynamic. Plus, he can call home when he's coming home late. Hey, Mom, mission complete. But I am going to do a series, and I have been doing series on starting your comic books, but for some reason it's been getting away from me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually draw a comic book or draw some pages as I tell you my process for doing that. And this is that theme I was saying. So I'm going to come up with a story, and I had a story. I was going to use one of my characters, and nothing's written in stone, and just do that. But I thought about this storyline. I was going to get on people for doing storylines where your characters just fight every day. It's just everything is a fight. And I was going to say, you know, you can't, it won't work. You can't do that. But then a story hit me where the character is just fighting every day. So I think I might go with that. But that just calls for like a generic character, not one of my characters. Or I could use one of my characters and just go from there. Just use a story, just a random story from my character. Either way, we'll see. But as I said, I'm going to start walking you, you know, just hand in hand in comic book process, because there is not another time right now where comic books or superheroes are more welcomed. You know, everything is a superhero nowadays. Every, you know, show, The Boys, what was that other thing that I was watching called? I can't think of it. But just everything is superhero. So now is the best time to make your superhero, or to bring your superhero to life. Because every, you know, so often there's something else. There's, you know, we went through the army phase where everybody was a soldier, and then we went through the cop phase where it was super cops, and we went through the detective phase, and, you know, the horror phase where everything was horror, and then we went through the witch phase. So now everything is basically comic books. It's all getting comic books, comic booky. So this line would actually go, I guess it would go out and up, which I'm guessing, and then it has to come back in, go out. So these would have to have some shape to it. So you would have to have a line somewhere in there, the little bulge somewhere in there to indicate that, but I don't want to do that because I'm just kind of screwing up what I have already. It came out to kind of be flat, so I'm going to keep it flat. And that's where your light would change, your reflection and stuff would change, because it's going in and out and up and down. And here's that symbol again. Because every car has its little shape to it. The Bugatti has its little shape, and I think the Koenigsegg stays with this little kind of shape design. So, I mean, I could call this the crowbar or something, because you get in and out of tight spots using the crowbar. Or J something, I don't know, the J flying car or whatever. And I was talking about the comic book, doing the comic book. As I said, I get sidetracked with doing like a lot of other things, but there are a few people that send me their drawings, you know, their progress in the drawings. And a lot of times I'm thinking about just dropping YouTube, because it's really not getting the fan views that I want. But every now and then somebody sends me something that they're doing. It lets me know that I am blessing somebody. So because of you guys, even if it's just one or two, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going if I'm just blessing you. So, your blessing is still coming. And I always say, give a blessing, get a blessing. Because somebody wrote in Facebook, what was it? The comment was, have you ever drawn a comic book for free? Have done a comic book for somebody for free? And a lot of people are like, no, never. My talents are worth this kind of money and my time is worth this kind of money. I've done a number of people's books for free. To one, that Will screwed up. My comment was because I know I wasn't getting paid. I wasn't putting my best into it. I was just getting the experience and the practice of drawing. And when I do something without that pressure, it comes out better. If I'm stressed, about, I got to get this right, I got to get that right, then it comes out wrong. It comes out wrong. That's why I say if I draw fast, it's better because I'm drawing and I'm not really caring about it. It's just a quick, rough sketch. But if I draw slowly and, caring about it, then it's not going to come out too good. So it was for that experience and then blessing somebody. Because as I say, you give a blessing, you get a blessing. This is off. No, it's not. So yeah, I've done a number of stuff for people for free. And some of these guys, were on their way. And that's one reason, if I knew that you were going to, make something of it, but you didn't have the ability to do it. It's like if you have $1 million check and you have to get to the bank and you don't have a car and you ask people, hey, could you take me to the bank? I got $1 million check. Well, I'm busy right now. Help that person. You never know if they're going to turn back and bless you. So, one reason, like I said, was to get more experience. And that's the only way that you can become good at anything is to just do it over and over and over again. And that's all learning is. It's just doing it again and again. If you want to play the piano, you have to play the piano again and again and again. Somebody shows you the basic keys, and then you just hit those keys. If you want to learn to fly a plane, somebody shows you this is the on button and this is the off button. You come in every day, that wheel is crooked, that's okay. And then you're hitting that on button and you're flying it. This is what makes you go up. This is what makes you go down. And every day you're doing that. And then the more you do it, the better you get. There was this one girl, I saw her video and she did this face and it was more like a anime. It's like a real detailed anime face of this girl. And I mean, that made me, that got my attention. That kind of made me jealous. And I'm not really jealous of artists because I can do what they do basically. I can mimic what they do, but she was just that good, and to the point where I went to her channel to see more of her stuff. And basically that's all she did. She had all these videos and she was just doing these anime character faces. And so I'm like, okay, that's why she's so good, because that's all she does. But if you ask her to do somebody getting thrown out of a window, or a cityscape, or some comic book panels, I don't think she'd be able to do it because she just focused on those faces, and she was really good at it. So this is why I like doing comic books and comic book artists, because they do everything. You're drawing cars and houses and cities and people and just all kind of stuff. So this is why I like this stuff. I just have to do more of it because my comic books are taking a very back seat from everything that I'm doing. Being a blessing to somebody, but I know that one day I will get my blessing. Give a blessing, get a blessing. So one day I'll have that 1 million views plus. Don't give up. Your goal could be right around the corner and you stop right at the corner and say, I'm tired, I'm going back home. And all you had to do was turn the corner, and then boom, there was your blessing right there. So don't give up. As long as you like what you're doing, keep doing it. Put one more little vent here. And then I think that's going to be it. This tire could be bigger. Okay, forgive me. As I said, it's been a long time since I did vehicles. And I didn't use the square process, which I should have done. But it's been a long time. And that would be the words, the title of the tire, Goodyear, GT, whatever, just stuff that makes the tire looks good. Goodyear Eagle GT. And I have to buy tires for my car one day, which are really fat tires because it's a Cadillac CTS, not the V. I want to get the V. That's my dream car. Couldn't get the dream, so I can settle for one step below. So, but I know I have to pay for those things. Those things are not cheap. Those are some fat tires. Not as fat as the Corvette tires, but still they are some fat tires. All right, so I'm not going to play with this anymore. I mean, I could do like some shadowing and, you know, stuff to kind of bring it to life. But this was just for my thumbnail, and I talked to you guys. So let me do one thing with the windshield. He's got black windows, you know. As they say, you don't want to be riding around in a fishbowl. Where's my fat pen? So you got to get your windows tinted. And I notice a lot of people are tinting the front window, and I always thought that was illegal. I see a lot of people on YouTube with the front tinted window, and I'm like, wait a minute, I thought that was illegal. So I don't know. Not that I'm going to get mine tinted, because I went a long time ago with my car, 2 cars back, to get my windows tinted, and I wanted a dark black tint, you know, the kind of stuff you see on limos. And then she was saying that the lady who was trying to help me was saying that was illegal because cops need to see what's in that car. And then she said, come here. So we went in the warehouse, because I was talking to her outside the little warehouse, and she had these little, I don't know what you call it, the samples, these little samples, and each one had a different shade. And she held it up to the light. She said, look at that, look through this. Can you see? And I couldn't see anything. It was just black. She said, now imagine trying to drive at night with your windows this dark. You could not see anything. So she told me, most people come in there with that, want this, and then they get it, and then like a couple weeks later, they bring it back. Oh, it's too dark. You got to take it off. So I learned that lesson. So now if you guys want to tint your windows, you learn that lesson too. Because the cops will check it, and if it doesn't, if it's not their spec or their little meter that they put up against the glass, then you have to take that mess off. So besides, I work at night. I go to work early in the morning. I leave work at 3 o'clock at night or in the morning. So I can't see if I have black, dark tinted windows. Yes, I still have a job, a day job, which I'm trying to, hopefully you guys will start watching my videos so I can quit and put more content out. But until then, it ain't happening. So I'm going to end this video here. This is a thumbnail for, oh, my front splitter, because that comes out to help. It's another wing. It folds out. It folds out with another wing. Look at the video. If you're looking at this drawing video, go back and look at that car design video, and you'll see why I did this. And this grill is going to be black too, so. And I stressed over doing this car. I was like, do I make a video of it, or what angle, or what, you know? So this morning I said, just go do the thing. Just do it. Don't be afraid of your talents. Don't be afraid of your skills. You'll never get anywhere. Say, I can do that. It's simple. I can do that. I'm looking at stuff. Let's just put something back here just to break the monotony of this. So that would be on the other side. Let's have a smaller one here. That's just like this, just circles. Circles on the inside, circles on the inside, and maybe just something right here. Just to break that. So that would be on this side. as I said, I could keep playing with it and adding more stuff to it, like put it on this side too, and then just keep going forever and ever. But I'm not. I'm going to end it. I just wanted to do this for a. That's got to be round for my thumbnail that I was stressing over. All right, so that's going to be it for this creative car drawing tutorial. I have no idea what I'm going to call this, but I'm going to call it something. Creative car drawing tutorial. I don't know. And this is definitely going to be the thumbnail for my video. What is that called? I don't know. Creating vehicles from the imagination, if I'm not mistaken. As I said, it's been that long. I made it, and it's just been kind of sitting there without a thumbnail. So it's already kind of sitting online in the private phase, the private sector. As soon as I get this thumbnail up, I can have it up and ready. So yeah, I can darken the car and so forth, and could put like a street or something, you know, the street lines where it's, you know, driving down the street, you know, really like quick, you know, or have something, you know, sporty or whatever, or like tree or whatever, or people eating picnic lunch next to the car, whatever. So yeah, here it is. It's just a plain background. Maybe I think of something else to put in there and use the add it as a thumbnail as well. So that's going to be it. Again, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for hanging with me. No, this wasn't an hour and 8 minutes. No way. Okay, I looked at my clock on the monitor, my timer on the monitor. So I'm not going to leave you guys here any longer. Go draw something. See you later.